the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Engineer Kwabena Agyapong, former General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party and a presidential candidate leading to flag bearer Mchusi in 2003 for the New Patriotic Party, has sent a message, cryptic message, to Alan Kojo Tremantin and the followers recently. The group of four, Justin Frimpong Kodria, issue letter from the party because why General Secretary Dano, a very important to say in Kofor share a bit the Numun Sem say of Waso and as on Waso. Anna Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia coming or no as a competitor no. Dear no ordaining a far vision or deba for 2024. Paul Adam Otre break it down the statement or release an answer on any one-on-one interview over the studios. Yenkuti Mr. Kwabena Agyapong's message to Alan Kojo Tremantin and I want on person with defective from the New Patriotic Party because of my choice of presidential candidate Nsem-Pii ending Kunim for the flag bearer for 2024 elections.
You have to respect the decision of the majority. Viewers, this is getting interesting. So Alan Nsem-Pii and Kwabena Agyapong participated in the same process. Alan Nsem-Pii did better than Kwabena Agyapong. He did got more votes than Kwabena Agyapong. I've already put on record tonight that Kennedy Agyapong is the reason why this is happening. Kennedy came in from nowhere and took the second position from Alan. He actually took it from Alan. He didn't take it from Bawumia. He didn't take it from Kwabena Agyapong. He took the second position from Alan because all the analysis was Bawumia first, Alan second, Alan first, Bawumia second, Bawumia first, Alan second, Alan first, Bawumia second, second, first, second, and then boom, somebody takes the second position. That is the problem. I think that the Alan people have not overcome that shock of somebody and a complete outsider, Kennedy Agyapong, coming in. We all knew that the top five will be Bawumia or Alan, 1. Alan or Bawumia, 2. Kennedy Agyapong, 3. For us, it was also Akoto 4, and we argued who's going to be the 5. But then comes a day, and the Alan Bawumia has now turned to Kennedy Agyapong, and I think that's the problem. So Kwabena Agyapong went through the same process, the same electoral process, former General Secretary of the party. Not many people have, if you like, been negatively affected in the NPP than Kwabena Agyapong. Not many people. And anybody who hears me saying this will agree with me. I mean, Kwabena is my personal mentor and friend, I should say, and I know him very well. Not many people have suffered the way Kwabena Agyapong has suffered in NPP recently. Whether it's genuine or not, he has gone through quite a bit. Here's a man who had an accident in campaigning. He defeated no less a person than Sir John as General Secretary of the party. He got suspended from the General Secretaryship. He had fights, running battles with people in the party, back and forth. Eventually, in 2020, Akufo-Addo called upon him to come into the campaign. He did. Kwabena continued his running battles. He tried to run for president now. He didn't get any votes. And this is what he says. I am an eternal Democrat, and I believe in majority rule. When the majority decides, the majority decides. I am disappointed I couldn't make the cut, but I accept the results. The party, the delegates have decided. As someone who believes in the majority rule, that is it. You have to respect the decision of the majority. That's his reaction to his defeat. Alan Nsem-Pii's reaction is very different. But Alan Nsem-Pii's reaction mimics Alan Nsem-Pii's reaction of 2007. And that's why we have a song for him, that Alan Nsem-Pii, J. Kofo, Nanado Dankwa, Omayebiko, Duba Omiaso. That's why we put that song together. Okay. Let me take Kwabena Agyapong off and now get he continues and says, I don't believe in looking for excuses because at the end of the day, everybody went and voted for the person they favored. Nobody held anybody's stamp. Whether they were influenced or were given money is neither here nor there. I don't like that. When we have an election, we should accept the results and move on. Fantastic. I asked my producers to also get me what Dr. Dufour said when he was exiting the NDC race. We all remember that. And it was very similar. And that is why the NDC has today appointed Dr. Dufour's son to be part of the Ashanti Regional Coordinating situation. When the NDC went to assume Dr. Dufour was Johnson Asiedu Nkatia, the chairman. And they were working together because Dr. Dufo didn't participate in the race. He was unhappy with a lot of things. But in the end, the kind of statement he put out was very similar to what Kwabena Agyapong has done. Kwabena says, I don't believe in looking for excuses. You've been defeated in an election. There's no election that's 100%. There's no election that's 100%. There'll be here, there'll be there, there'll be this, there'll be that. Do you think in 2007 in December, Akufo-Addo didn't have anything to say about the process of the election that occurred there at Legon? Do you think Akufo-Addo didn't have anything to say about the national security dominance, the chief of staff, Kojo Mpienim, marauding all over the place, insisting that people should vote for Alan? DCs were getting suspended by the administration because they were thought to be Akufo-Addo people. Peter Ala Ajete, the old man, Peter Ajete, former Speaker of Parliament, the old man, I saw him on the grounds. Ajete sat there from up to about 3 a.m. and I was chatting with some of the people and they said, go and ask Peter Ajete whether he wants water. I crawled to his seat and I said, Mr. Speaker, do you want water? He said, oh, no, I'm fine. What is the time? I said, it's about 3:20 a.m. He said, but so all of you journalists have remained here? I said, oh, yes, we have. He said, well, I want to see the counting before I go. Peter Ajete was there. At that time, Peter Ajete has been made pariah because he was an Akufo-Addo supporter. Peter Ajete was not even given a second term as a speaker because he was an Akufo-Addo supporter. Everybody knew that. Akufo-Addo didn't complain about it. He went into the ground, dug deep, and won the election. Alan Nsem-Pii was the establishment candidate. Nothing happened. Kwabena Agyapong has suffered in the hands of the NPP. I don't think Alan Nsem-Pii has suffered more than Kwabena Agyapong. No. Kwabena Agyapong has been suspended as a general secretary of the party. And when he's called back to come and assist campaign in 2020, he puts his hand behind him. He says, yes, sir, I shall support your campaign. He stands on the platform and he says, Akufo-Addo has done well, vote for him. The same people around Akufo-Addo who had occasioned, as far as he's concerned, his dismissal from his removal as general secretary, he went to stand on the campaign to campaign for Akufo-Addo again. He comes into the race, he's badly defeated. Yes, there may have been irregularities. It's very, very unfortunate that the Alan Nsem-Pii guy in Northeast had his eye. I think the NPP should pay for the cost of the repair of the eye. I think the NPP should offer, if John Kodia is listening to me, General Secretary, I think you guys should pay for that. I don't know what they are doing. I know they are investigating it. I don't know the details. But the NPP should pay for it. It's very, very unfortunate and it is bizarre. Is that a reason why the candidates for which this guy was working will say, I've stepped out? Kwabena Agyapong, in the famous showdown, you saw him on the phone. He said, I'm going to give them a showdown. Has he put out statements like that? Kwame Owusu, who is reported by Guntumi to have given the information, says he didn't give the information. Kwabena Agyapong has been invited by the party's disciplinary committee. They're going to have a conversation about it. Boakye Jakun fortunately comes in brackets with Abainimo. The National Council meets and says, okay, we are going this way. Boakye says, I'm not interested. I'm out. He didn't say anything ill about the party.
I think it's important those of us who've been around political tradition for this long should be able to share our experiences, try and pour a little bit of water, bring some calm. It's important that we work together as a political tradition because as Democrats, as you displayed, once the majority have taken a decision, we have to respect it and work towards the victory of our party. So for me, I've always been one to work for the collective. And I think it is time that we have an opportunity. We have a new presidential candidate. And I do hope that he's the kind of person who can chart a new course for the party. I've always believed that we need to usher in a new dawn. When I say a new dawn, a new time, the way we do our politics, the way we understand public service and all that. And those are things I'm very passionate about. And I'm very confident that Dr. Bawumia would be able to do that. And we, all of us, patrons of our party, should support him to be able to achieve what we need to achieve by winning the elections in 2024.
Is that winnable?
It's a tough one. We all know that it hasn't happened before. But when you are in power, we have an opportunity to reorganize ourselves. I believe the base of the party is enthusiastic. Once we have harmony and cohesiveness at the base, that is for me number one. So what duty we have as leaders of our party now is to ensure that the 275 constituencies work in harmony. They focus on their work, especially at the grassroots. It appears to me that a lot of them have their focus as to why they are polling station executives. People prefer to call themselves delegates. They are really polling station executives. And these polling stations have manuals. They have a job to do. These are the frontline soldiers of our struggle. These are the ones who go to the homes, and they are the ones who do the advocacy for our party. And it is by their own choice that they have those positions to work for the party. So that spirit of dedication, volunteerism, the spirit of working hard for this political tradition, that used to be our glowing principle, which appears to have waned. That is what I'm worried about now, to get our people back on course. Immediately after any election, I mean, it happened in 92, 98, elections are tough. And when, people, there's a lot of pain, so we've got to work to heal those cracks. And it's the way we communicate with ourselves, the way we show love to one another, and the language that we use is very important. So I don't think that we need to over-celebrate, especially those who have won. They have to be magnanimous in victory and ensure that every NPP person feels a part of this battle for 2024. And that's why I'm here.
So, what role do you want to be playing ahead of 2024? You are not a police station executive. You are at the national level.
I am a member of the national executive. Okay, I want to help with all the experience I have garnered over the years, serving in various capacities, and especially to get the rank and file of the party, to have the emotional strength to accept that this is a new dawn, that we need to change our attitude towards politics. Because politics is not about what you make out of the situation, but what contribution that you can make to society. That there will be a sense of fulfillment as Ghanaians, as party patriots, to be able to support one another and to work hard for our country. I think I'm a bit saddened when you speak to a lot of young people who feel a sense of despondency. I mean, this week, for some strange reason, I've had visits from youth organizers who are worried about the attitude of the youth in the party, who are always talking about resources and other things. That should not animate what we do for our political tradition. Politics is about public service, and it is we, the leaders, who have to lead by example, to be able to inspire the youth that there's some beauty, some sense of fulfillment in serving your country, and it can be done. Right now, that cloud of mistrust hangs around politics, the political architecture in Ghana in general. And I think we should work hard as a country, do more thinking than speaking. And the way we are able to think through our problems and diagnose and proffer solutions, simple, implementable steps that can change the face of our economy and our situation as Ghanaians. Those are the things that we need to do as politicians and as Ghanaians. And that's what I want to lend the experience that I've been able to garner over the years to support the party, to support our move to win 2024.
How different will 2024 be from 2008, for instance?
Well, I think, Paul, let's be honest. The whole world has gone through a very turbulent period the last 2 years. And so it's very tough economically. You can see a lot of governments have suffered because of that. So clearly, when we all go through an economic turmoil, it affects people. But it doesn't mean it cannot be done. I think what we need to change in Ghana now is our orientation. Let's get back to basics. We've got to reposition our thinking and look for the collective. It's very important.
What is the meaning of look for the collective?
Look for our collective security as a country, as a people. The kinds of language that people are using to attack one another just because on the altar of political expediency. Just attack people, destroy them. I think it hasn't worked for the last 30 years. So we need to have a competition of ideas. Let's discuss real issues that matter to the Ghanaian people and how we are going to advance as a people. And I do believe that we have the capacity. Ghana, we have the mental resources, we have the human resource to be able to lift ourselves from where we are right now, which means we have to impose order and discipline, which means we have to cut down the size of government. So I had a 6-point plan, and I'm happy I've had several discussions with the flag bearer.
Dr. Bawumia?
Yes, and I think a lot of his views, in fact, my views align, a lot of my views align with his. And I'm happy he talked about a new vision, a new set of priorities. We can work together to change the narrative to the Ghanaian people. So it's a matter of restoring confidence.
When you say we should reduce the size of government, what do you mean?
We have to lead by example, okay? Right now, I think the economy is such that we have to work to balance our budget. We can't continue with deficit financing forever. So what you can do when you have a situation like that is to reduce your expenditure, to prioritize. What are our priorities? Those are very important as Ghanaians. So as a government, you can send a very strong moral message, because I have always believed in small government. I believe it's more efficient.
How small is efficient?
I have said as part of my 6-point plan that I think that we should respect what the Constitution says when it talks about the 19 cabinet ministers.
And leave the ministers at 19?
I think so.
19?
I think that will be very good for us. It will send a very strong message to the Ghanaian public that we are serious about what we are doing.
Excluding deputies?
Yes.
So plus deputies 38 maybe?
38, and then the 16, that makes it 54.
Which 60 the regions?
I don't expect.
So 54 ultimately?
Yeah, that's 54 ultimately.
That 19 cabinet?
That is what that's what I think. But okay. I mean, if he's able to reduce it not to exactly 54, I think...
President Kufuor was doing 60 something?
No, it was 82.
Because some had double deputies.
That's right. So I think that for a country of 31 million people, and I can sense from his discussions with me that he wants to do something like that, consolidate some of the ministries. We've practiced this for 30 years. It really hasn't taken us where we want to be. So it is time for us to look the Ghanaian in the face and also to have a certain social reconstruct as Ghanaians. We, the population, have also a duty to our country, Ghana. Yes, the politicians have to lead by example, taking the right decision, behaving properly, but the Ghanaian people, we've got to energize them for them to understand it is their right, it is their time to also play a major role in changing the narrative of Ghana. Talk about employment especially. Job creation clearly is the biggest problem we are facing, unemployment in our country. But one thing we don't talk about is the work ethic. In society, a lot of investors you talk to, businesses have collapsed because of a low work ethic. The kinds of antisocial behavior that we put up in workplaces have destroyed many a company. And so we have to change our attitude towards work. We've got to restore professionalism and meritocracy to the workplace, where people are prepared to do the extra thing.
But they want to be paid.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, President Kufuor, it was who said that we pretend to work and they pretend to pay us.
Yeah.
And I remember it is Don Xiaoping who also talked about that bowl of rice and says that sometimes people just do the basic minimum. But as Ghanaians, can we put our hand on our heart and say we are passionate about our country?
Well, they think the politicians have been stealing the money. That's the narrative for the last 20 years.
I think it is important that we, the politicians, start leading by example, winning the confidence again of the Ghanaian people that we mean well. It's very important.